machine learning? Anybody has any idea what is machine learning? Even today, I can hear from the HR, right? HR, when they call people, right? So my students or someone, right? For any recruitment. So the HR, they call the candidates, and then they ask the questions like, do you know machine learning? Do you know artificial intelligence? Do you know data science? How many years you have experience in data science? How many years you have experience in AI? How many years you have experience in machine learning? But HR, they don't know. Okay, so they think, these three are, three different worlds altogether. End of the day, all three are falls in the same umbrella, falls under same umbrella. But importantly, falls under AI umbrella, artificial umbrella. So you have AI. Okay, one second. This is where AI stands for artificial intelligence. What is the difference between human intelligence and artificial intelligence? Human, our brain is much more powerful than the computers, other things, right? So our brain, right? So for example, if you see something, hey, you say, hey, this is a car, this is a bike. And again, you can make out this is BMW car, and this is Lamborghini car, and this is Range Rover, something like that. So you can say you can distinguish what brand within each car itself, right? So AI is something like artificial intelligence. We have given the brain to the system. The past, the scientists they thought they want to give the brain to the system or the computers or the machines, so that the systems can perform task on its own without human intervention. The classic example is self-driving car. The car doesn't need any driver. All you need to just get into the car, and then you tell the car, hey, this is my destination. I want to go to this destination. Can you please drop me there? Yes, the car will, and then you can sleep. So the car will take you to your destination. Once it arrives to your destination, it says, hey, we have arrived. That's all right. You don't have to drive the car. You don't have to worry about paying money to the driver. Okay. So whenever you want, you can tell the car to stop the car also, right? So can you, stop me on the end route to a restaurant, good restaurant. And it gives you when you stop, you want to, take a, so-and-so restaurant, you want to go there. Instead, you can say directly, right? Instead of telling the car, hey, on the end route, drop me at a restaurant, you can also plan it. For example, I want to go from Adayar to Siriseri on the end route. So I want to go to some restaurant, good restaurant. I know that restaurant. I can say, hey, can you please drop me at the restaurant and wait for some time there. I'll finish up my lunch and I'll come back. It waits for you. And you go and have your lunch and then come back and sit inside the car. You can, hey, can you take me to Siriseri TCS office? Yes. How it is possible? Because of AI, artificial. We have given the brain to the system. Computer. In this case, the system is nothing but the computer. Sorry, the car. Okay, we have given the brain to the car so that the car can drive on its own. So on the end route to your destination, it can face any kind of challenges. It can face a lot of hassles. Everything it takes care. You don't have to worry about because we have given the brain to the car. Now the brain can act like human, right? With that artificial brain, it can act like a real human, right? Okay. So everything falls under artificial intelligence. So now there is a small correction here to my statement, artificial. So some say the machine learning, right? Some say the machine learning. Like you said, the HR folks, they'll call you and say, hey, do you know machine learning? Do you know AI? And do you know data science? And do you know deep learning? And do you know the generative AI? Now we could see that, right? We put, we have in the recent batch, almost, a couple of guys, almost 4 to 5 guys, we shared their profile with our prospective clients. And also, right, we put MLOps also for, some, we have a separate batch for MLOps. We cover all, almost majority of the popular DevOps related tools, coupled with, the machine learning and deep learning and GenAI, how to deploy it on cloud, AWS cloud, and using Vertex AI in Google. How do we do that? But what happens, right? So we started floating their resumes. We could get every 10 minutes calls for the GenAI guys. All the enterprises now they realize, they need to. If you say I'm a data scientist with 8 years experience, or they see, they see your profile, 8 years fine. Or you worked in machine learning and you worked in deep learning. NLP is fine, but did you work extensively in GenAI? Okay, I'm okay to, we are okay to pay good salary, but we are expecting more value from you guys. But because we don't want to hire the, machine learning engineers separately, we don't want to hire MLOps engineers separately. Okay, everything is there fine because MLOps is part and parcel of our life, isn't it? So part and parcel of our life. That's how it became now. So with the MLOps now. But MLOps itself a version. Okay, you need to know Linux very well. And you need to practice Linux commands, and you need to know more things here. Okay. See, before I dive into GenAI and everything, right? You should understand the market condition. You should understand the big picture very well. Okay. GenAI, that's what I'm saying. Every 10 minutes, the candidates are getting called. They said, sir, I'm getting so many calls. I'm flooded with so many calls. Okay, compared to MLOps days. MLOps days, hardly they get 2 or 3 calls per week. 2 to 3 calls. If they get it, that is the biggest thing. Okay, so that is what I heard from them. Yes, Priya. So there is a significant demand for GenAI folks now because everyone now started looking for the data scientist with them. See, data scientist, if you say I know machine learning, everything is fine, man. In addition to that, do you know GenAI? If you know GenAI, coupled with the traditional data scientist job, then it is good. If you say, no, I know the traditional machine learning, deep learning, that is what I've been doing it for the last 8 years, 6 years. And I just started exploring GenAI. Sorry, okay, we'll get back to you. So it's a high time that you need to understand the market expectations, employers' expectations. You need to align with their expectations. Otherwise, you will not be, you will be out of the um, job. Okay, you will be still struggling. You don't say, no, I'm a data scientist, I have 8 years experience, 5 years experience. There is no use of saying all of this. Fine. So AI, machine learning, see the under AI, everything else falls. Okay, the machine learning, deep learning, GenAI, even NLP, everything falls under this one. So first, what we'll do is, right, for the sake of rookies and for the new people, right, let us start with understand the very fundamental thing. What exactly machine learning is all about? Machine learning falls under artificial intelligence. Fine. Then what is deep learning? Deep learning is a kind of an advanced version of your machine learning. It's something like I bought very basic version of BMW car. Now I bought a little advanced version of BMW. It has a cruise control and so many features are there. Okay, so I just upgraded to the latest version of the BMW car. Okay, so that is right. So likewise, right? Because if you buy the latest version, the latest model of the BMW with the high-end model, especially, you will get more number of features. Similarly, deep learning, right? So with deep learning, you can identify, you can identify, or you can extract very complex patterns. Okay, so deep learning is evolved from your machine learning. And what is the computer vision? Computer vision is also falls under the artificial intelligence only. Okay, it is a subset of artificial. Like I said, the car, self-driving car, we have given the brain. With the brain alone, can a car drive? Can a person drive with the brain itself? What else he needed? So the car, as if we have given the brain to the car, human kind of no human brain, the car can drive on its own. In case the red light falls in the signal, it automatically detects that, and then it can stop the car. If it notices the amber light, it slows, it prepares to slow down the car and stop it. If it sees the green color, it starts move the vehicle, right? So that is how it can automatically understand the environment, because these cars are bombarded with a lot of sensors. It learns the external world through the sensors, and also these cars trained with the host of algorithms like reinforcement learning algorithm and convolutional neural network, CNN, convolutional neural network algorithm, because CNN helps us to do the image classification, all the things. Okay, whether this traffic light is a red color or green color or amber color, and also object detection. There is something called object detection. In the case of deep learning, you might have heard about object detection, and plus we have something else called object tracking. Object tracking. Okay, so likewise, right? These cars, trained, in these cars they used host of algorithms, and along with the reinforcement learning thing, and then they put a lot of sensors in these cars. So now the car has a brain, and it can go anywhere, based on your requirement or need. Okay, so it doesn't require any human intervention. Okay, this is a classic example for artificial intelligence. Human intelligence, artificial intelligence. So they want to give the human intelligence to the systems like car and even the machines, so that it can act on its own. So now the agentic AI is gaining a lot of momentum. Agentic AI. How many of you heard about agentic AI? So you can see the training institute advertisement, right? Agentic AI, agentic AI. So agent AI gaining a lot of momentum now. Okay. So in the case of agentic AI, you just give the goal. You can tell the agentic, hey, something like I want to buy Infosys shares or TCS shares or Wipro shares. I want to buy, and then make sure that I want to get the return on investment ROI at least 3 to 5% every once in a month. You can tell it. So now this and the agent automatically it goes and buys the shares at the quoted price, and then whenever it keeps monitoring. So when the fluctuation happens, at the time of fluctuation, it goes and buy that shares, and then so right now there are some applications are available. Okay, so kind of a agentic AI thing. So you can tell that agent, and then you just tell all the rules. That's all. It takes care of. So now we are busy professionals. We go to office morning 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. as IT professional. We return home by 11 a.m. Even if you return home, what will happen is suddenly you get a call from on site, and then they say, "Hey, you need to. We could see two bugs are there. Can you fix it quickly?" And also, client wants to have a discussion with you. Can you please give a demo on this one? They got some some clarity around it. Okay? So in that case, what will happen is you end up going to bed by 12 a.m. in the night, or 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Okay? This is how the typical IT staff's life is going on. So in this case, how do you afford to buy the shares and monitoring the share price when the price goes up, when the price goes down? Okay, and when should I square up, these equities which I bought it? It's a bit challenging. So you leave it all the headache with the agentic AI. Okay, you set the goal, it accomplishes the goal. Okay, it accomplishes the goal. So that is what the agentic is. Agentic also, I will be covering it, in the later session. But don't think, right? We go by the training center all the thing. No, no, we go beyond whatever the other training centers they cover it, because we have hands-on and we have a lot of interesting use cases. Don't worry about that. But only thing is dedication, commitment. Okay, this is not watching movie, or this is not a TV serial. Okay, you need to attend every day and you need to practice it. We will keep giving you the assignments, keep practicing it. Okay, a lot of interesting stuffs are there, and very well many Even the developer's job got replaced by the artificial intelligence. If you learn AI, so how can you be replaced, right? If I know that, if I master the AI itself, so how will my job will be replaced? Hence, be focused, and attending the session is not important. You need to keep practicing the assignments. That is very much important. So, okay. Next, what is machine learning? Okay, we'll start from the basics now. So, what is machine learning? Machine learning falls under artificial intelligence. It's a subset of artificial intelligence. Fine. AI is the umbrella term. That's good. Okay. So to understand the machine learning, again, I just start with a very simple example. Let's say this gentleman name is Ashok. He wants to buy a car, but he wants to go for a car loan with a bank, some bank. Okay, he wants to buy a car, and he wants to go for a loan with the bank. Okay, so in that case, to go for a loan, he has to fill out a application form, loan application form. He filled out the loan application form, and then he meets the bank manager. He say he's very busy, the manager, because like Ashok, he is already busy with talking to various customers, and there are some customers, they had some issues, to resolve that. They came to the bank in person, maybe some KYC, right? For that purpose, maybe their account got locked due to something, right? So the manager is completely busy, and he, says, Ashok, okay, you can leave the application. We will get back to you. Like Ashok, the bank received so many applications, loan applications. Okay. So it's so tedious for the manager or the bank to decide whom should I approve the loan, whom should I not approve the loan. Yes, obviously, when I approve the loan, not only the car loan, any loan, so bank will get interest. Okay. They get the assured interest every month, unlike your credit card. You are a smart guy. If you utilize the credit card smartly, and if you make the payment on time, so you don't have to pay any interest, nothing. In the case of loan, you have to pay every month the interest. It's a regular income for the bank. The more the customers, when they give the loan, obviously the bank will get more money, more revenue. That's one of the the key revenue generated. That's one of the key products. The loan is one of the products wherein they can, using which they can generate a lot of revenue, right? But just because they can get more revenue by offering the loan to their customers, do you think they can simply close their eyes and approve the loan? No. They have to, go through your application and understand your background thoroughly, whether if I approve the loan, whether you can repay the payment or not. Okay. If you don't repay the payment, obviously you will end up paying more interest. Okay. But end of the day, if you can't afford to repay the money at all, okay, then what will happen? Like you, hundreds or thousands of customers, if they don't repay the money, if they default the payment itself, principal itself, what will happen? Sooner the bank will run into bankruptcy. So they need to, they need to ascertain each and every application form submitted, by various customers, various bank customers, right? So, and then they need to decide, which customers are really eligible or not. So let's assume that, they received almost 100,000 applications. So what banks they do is they take past customers historical data. Okay, past customers historical data. They, this is nothing but collecting the past historical data. Like, those customers we gave the loan, right? So the car loan or some other loan, personal loan. Okay. So they have the past history. So this is first, because of the space here, space issue, I just took only 3 customers' data here. The first record, you can see that the income is 50,000. You can see the interest, this customer's income is 50,000. His credit score is really good, and he has no existing loans. In the past, when we offered the loan, he repaid it on time. Okay. He did not default. And similarly, if you see 70,000, this guy's income, And you can see that, he's a profitable. Yes, means, they are profitable customers here. Okay. Yes, they paid back the loan. But if you see this guy, okay, his income is 30,000 and his credit score is not so great, and he has already existing loans, hence they rejected it in the past. So they collected like this, almost 20, because different customers have different characteristics, or they have different profiles. Like, some customers credit score is 600, some customers credit score is 800. Maybe this customers, credit score may fall, after a few months or so, because of, the family functions, he borrowed more loan. Okay, so, but, by like that, all the history, the same customer history also there with them. So they record all the history, and they took all the data, and then they train it to the machine learning model. They train the machine learning model. So what do you mean by training the machine learning model? So this is your machine learning model. So they have the bank of the history of the previously those customers they bought loan, right? So they have their data, and they show it to this algorithm, the machine learning algorithm. Forget about the machine learning algorithm. So I'm talking about, this is the one. Okay, you just think that this is an algorithm. Okay, this is a machine learning algorithm. Okay, this is the historical data. Let's say let's say you are let's say your name is Rajesh. Instead of machine learning model, in the past, right, Rajesh has been working with this bank. Let's say he's the manager, senior manager. He has been working with this bank for the last 10 years, and he knows, he's part of the loan department. He knows, right, the different customers, background in the sense, right, he knows the pattern very well. Those customers' income is more. They obviously they don't default. So that's one of the important parameter, right? So they see that. And those customers' credit score is high, obviously, they are good customers, we can give the loan. Okay, this customer's credit score is good, but he has multiple loans. And he's again, right? So he has to look at his income also. Likewise, Rajesh has, a lot of experience, but we have received 100K, loan applications. In this case, even though Rajesh, being a manager, senior manager with 15 plus years of experience, you think he can process 100,000 loan applications in a matter of 5 minutes? Highly impossible. Forget about, yeah, highly impossible. Hence, what happened? The now banks, what they do is they take the historical data to train the algorithm. So it replaces Rajesh here, senior manager. So it has a superpower to detect the pattern, learn the pattern automatically. It learns the pattern automatically. Here, what happens? This is my historical data. So these three columns are your input features. In the machine learning world, or the AI world, we don't call columns, okay, income column, credit score column, existing loans column. Instead, we call it the input features. This is your labeled output feature, label output feature. So this is something like, this is a label or output feature. Either you can call it as a label, but traditionally we call it a labeled output feature. Okay, these are called your input feature. Uh, let's take the first customer's data here. With the combination of these three, right? This value is defined. Okay, so this one, the label output for each record is determined based on the combination of these three input features. In the case of machine learning, especially in the case of supervised machine learning algorithm. So we train our machine learning model. This is my machine learning model, right? We train our machine learning model with a combination of both input as well as the output features. Okay, so what happens is, you just think, right? We are just simply showing this data to this one. Instead of the machine learning model, if I show it to this one, and then if I ask you, let's say, I gave you this data, and you have gone through this. Okay, let's say you are going through this data for, let's say, you are Varun. Okay, Varun, what you do, right? You just go through this data, you analyze it, right? So, okay, when you analyze this data, so what pattern you can understand from this? People with a higher credit score and higher income, they are more likely to repay the money. This is the pattern you can understand quickly, correct? Say yes or no. In this case, what do you mean by pattern? What do you mean by pattern? Okay, forget about this one. I'll give you another example. Okay, let's say compare the rural women and then the cosmopolitan, those females, young females, though live in the cosmopolitan cities and rural area, females, when they go to the mall, right? So when they go to some shop, right? So which items they're more likely to buy? Cosmetics, right? When they go to the mall, obviously, right, they go and eat everything, but end of the day, before they return home, they go and spend more money in buying cosmetics item, especially in the case of metropolitan and cosmopolitan cities. They spend a lot of money in cosmetics compared to the rural area females, young females. Okay. This is one of the pattern you can see here. This is called a pattern. And also newly those family they have just born kids, they tend to spend more money. That is one of the pattern. So in the case, what you do is you can group all the parents, those have just born kids, you can target them with special offers to, to propose them or, target them with tailor-made offers to, for, especially for the kids-related products. Johnson Baby, Viper, right? So wipes and those kind of the kids-related items, right? The two months kid and the 6 months kid, and then as the kid grows, right, every stage, we know very well what products they are supposed to buy. Proactively, you can propose them. So these are kind of a pattern. We could see that this customer is frequently now started buying diapers, right? That they started buying diapers. That means they have a newborn kid. So obviously, every once in a week they're supposed to buy it. So this is the pattern you can see. But once you understand the pattern, what you can do, you start monetize that, right? So the pattern helps you to monetize. How it helps you to monetize? Hey, this customer, she bought a diaper. So the size of the diaper is this one. And 2 year kid, no, she 2 months kid, she bought the diaper. So what, obviously what we do, we group those kind of similar customers. And then we will tell them, hey, we have a special offer. We give 5% discount. We give 10% discount for so and so brand. And it's time now for it. So simple example, Swiggy, this was Swiggy and Swiggy, right? Sharp by 4:30 p.m. It tells you you get some push messages, right? It says, hey, hot budgie is ready, right? They will tempt you. Similarly, right? So with the help of the machine learning model, you can understand the pattern in a pretty fast manner, even if the number of data are too huge, right? Still, you can make out the pattern. Once you understand the pattern, what you do is, right, you can cash in on those patterns, whatever you learn, right? So that is all. So in this case, the machine learning algorithm, how it gets trained. So in this case, it requires both the input features and the label output feature. Let's say if I show you, let's say your name is John, right? Let's say you are a John. You are a new person. You are completely new into machine learning. If I show it to you, what you will say, you understood the pattern, right? So those people with higher credit score are more likely to repay the loan. Hence, if I approve the loan to these guys, obviously it will be good for me, right? If I approve the loan for those customers are incapable to repay the money, what will happen? What will happen? So the bank will end up bankruptcy sooner, right? So in that case, the bank wants to be judicious, and right. So and at the same time, they want to maximize their revenue. They want to find out, how many number of potential customers are there. So in that case, right, as a human, when you see these three records, you're able to understand the pattern. Whom I should, give the loan, whom I should not give the loan. Similarly, the machine learning model has an intelligence to automatically learn the pattern on its own. So it when you show this data, right, it can understand, hey, people with a higher credit score, higher income, they are more likely to repay the loan. So in this case, hardly I have 4 columns are there. This is for demonstration purpose. To simplify this concept, I use only 4 columns. In the real world scenario, what in the loan application, so many columns you need to fill it out, right? And again, going to each and every column, it's a painful thing, and there could be chances due to oversight, you might tend to approve the loan to the wrong person. Leave all the headache with the machine learning model. So the one you need to just take the past data, historical data, huge volume of data, and then train your model with the combination of both input and output features. It learns the pattern automatically. Now your model is prediction ready. It learned many patterns. Like you, like John, it learned many patterns. Those people with higher income and no existing loans. Fine. Okay, there are some customers, their credit score is good and their income is also very good. They have existing loans, more than one bank, they have loans. Still, they can afford to go for a loan. Okay. So when you, but just because, if a customer has more, loans, right, more number of loans, that doesn't mean he's not capable enough to repay the loan. Because again, you need to look at another income and credit score. Yes, his income is very good and credit score is very good. That means, he's repaying them all the loans on time. Okay. So in that case, what will happen is you try to maximize the revenue. It helps us to maximize the revenue by understanding all sort of all combination of patterns. Now my model is prediction ready. Now, if I show a new customer, for example, a new customer, they apply for a loan. So his income is, let's 65,000, and his credit score is, 720, and he has no existing loans. Okay, no existing loans. This is what he filled in his application form. When I show this data to my machine learning model, and if I ask a question whether this new customer is a potential customer or not, can I approve the loan to this customer or not? What is the answer? Whether the model is going to predict yes or no. Either it should predict yes or no. Yes means, approve the loan to him. No means don't approve the loan. Got it? Tarun, are you able to follow this? Very simple. Just type it in the chat window. How many of you are able to follow me? So when a new customer, this guy is, Joe. Okay, let's say he's a Joe. He applied for a loan. In that case, right, like Joe, millions of customers they applied the loan. Since my model got trained with a humongous amount of data, historical data, it learned a lot of patterns, so many customers' patterns. If I apply this model on these applications, it can make a prediction in a matter of jiffy. Nowadays, we have Spark and big data, and we have sophisticated infrastructure. So, right, the data infrastructure. So, in the case, obviously, right, these models can make a prediction in a matter of seconds or minutes. Even for 100,000 or 1 million customers, it can make a prediction in a matter of 5 to at least 3 to 5 minutes time. Within 3 to 5 minutes, or 1 million customers, it make a prediction which customers are eligible for loan, which all customers are not eligible for loan. It makes the prediction in a matter of 3 to 5 minutes. All you need to just train the machine learning model with the historical data. It learns the pattern automatically. Once it learns the pattern automatically, apply the model on the unseen data. Another example is, let's here, just say, let's this is you, all right? You don't know how to drive the car. Okay. But what happened, the training school guy, right? Car driving school. So that guy comes and trains you. This guy has a lot of experience. He tells you, hey, in this road, you need to drive down slowly. In so-and-so road, you need to be cautious. A lot of potholes are there. This road condition is not. This road condition is good, but heavily congested. He feeds so many things to you, and then he teaches you how to drive the car. And you know everything went into your brain. Okay, so this is how I need to drive the car. So when I approach the signal, I need to slow down my car. I need to put it in neutral, right? So when I approach the red light signal, right? So I need to slow down. I need to I need to reduce my gear, right? I from the third gear to first gear and then neutral. Wait for some time until you get the clearance. Once you find the green light, you are all set to start your car. All these things you learn from him. Next time, what happens? He put you alone to drive on the new road. How will you drive? Whatever the patterns you learn, when he drove the car and when he explained you how to drive the car, when to act, how, all the things he taught you. Now, if you ask you to drive on your own, what will happen? So he will, drive, but initially he'll make some mistakes. Initially, he will make some mistakes. Okay. So yeah, that's what, I will tell you one thing. I could see a message here in the chat window. You have to concentrate here. Guys, I will tell you very clearly. If you get distracted even for a minute, you will not be able to, understand everything. Again, you have to waste time watching my entire video. I'm not saying watching video is waste of time, but why to watch the entire video again? There are some areas you may not be able to understand. Only go and, fast forward and pause it and then, play back the video. Otherwise, you will watch everything. Okay. Please concentrate here so that you'll be able to understand very clearly. Okay. So this is how the machine learning algorithm works. Okay, what is the definition of machine learning algorithm? So we teach the machine learning algorithm with the historical data. The historical data which contains both the input and the label output feature, the model get trained. Okay. Once the model get trained, you apply the model on the unseen data so that the model can make a prediction on the unseen data. Without writing the program explicitly, you don't have to write lines and lines of code. This is your input, and then this is your output. In a traditional programming, language, how you do that? In the case of traditional programming, we give so let's say a manager gave me the input data in the form of Excel. And he wants you to create a report. He wants you to create some charts, and he wants to create, he wants to convert this input data into some other format, right? So you write some program here based on the input that you received it. You write some program. Put some business logic, everything, right? You implement everything in your programming language, and then you produce the output. When it comes to machine learning model, you give both the input and output upfront. Okay, you give both the input and output to the model upfront. The model has the capability to learn the patterns automatically. Next time when you see in the case of bank loan, right? When a new person apply for the loan, you need to ask this algorithm, hey, can you tell me whether this new customer Joe is eligible for loan? What happens is whatever the pattern that we learned it in the past historically, it applies it to the new customer John. And then he says, yes, this guy is yes eligible for loan. On what basis he says? Yes, the pattern is, these patterns are also somewhat similar to the potential customers or good customers. Okay, this guy's, the credit rating was 720 and his income was 650, 65,000. He has no existing loans. Obviously, this guy is not good. Listen, another guy is applying for the loan. Darun, can you please respond to me? His income is 25,000 rupees. His credit score is 400 and he has existing loans. So what my model will predict? Will it predict yes or no? Yes means approve the loan. No
No,
means
sir.
excellent, right? You got it, man. You got it, man. So right, it will automatically Like human can understand just by seeing this data, whom we can approve the loan, whom we don't have to approve the loan. The machine learning model, right? So it learns the pattern automatically from the data. But we have the good brain. As soon as we see the data, we can tell. Though we have the, our brain is much more powerful. Just by seeing data itself, we can make out and tell, right? Who is it? Do you think if I have 100 columns are there in this data set and I have 25 million customers are there, do you think I can tell of the 25 million customers which customers are potential customers, which customers not potential? It's not. That's where the machine learning algorithms are playing a crucial role. It comes for our rescue. Okay, it makes the prediction in a matter of minutes, no matter how much volume of the data you have, how many number of columns you have. But there is a there is a caveat here. So, like human, we tend to make mistakes. Sometimes what will happen, even in our real life, right? We tend to think, sometimes we make a wrong decision. Maybe a person is really good, but we fail to understand, clearly whether he is really good or bad. But due to some circumstances, we decide, hey, this guy is a bad guy. Actually, he's a good guy. The opposite is also possible. Sometimes, right, a bad guy, due to some circumstances, we think, he's a good, good guy. This is called misclassification. We wrongly classify a good person as a bad person as a good person. Similarly, the machine learning models, not only the machine learning, even the deep learning, all the AI-related algorithms can make mistakes. If the model predicts with a higher accuracy means good person as a good person, if the model correctly predicts, then it is really good. If the model clearly predict or classify bad person as a bad person, that means my model accuracy is really good. But unfortunately, like human, the models also tend to make some kind of misclassification. If everything is done by machine learning model, then what, or the way models, then why do they need a data scientist? That is where, as a data scientist, we need to fine tune the model. In case my model accuracy is not good, which means my model is not correctly making the predictions, I need to go and fine tune my model. I need to find out my model. So, right, fine tune the model. Maybe if the model requires some additional data, you can take some additional data and train your model so that your model have more knowledge. Something like in the exam, before you appear for the exam, let's say you just went through last 2 years question papers, right? And if you go through last 4 to 5 years question papers, you will have more knowledge. Similarly, when you train your model with huge volume of data, the model can learn all sort of patterns. Like I said, one typical, yeah, little bit tricky pattern, right? The customer income is, 1,20,000. Every month he earns 1,20,000, and his credit score is some, 700, and he has existing loans, yes, and he has a car loan, personal loan, and education loan for his kids. Many loans are there. Okay. This credit rating is kind of 7. It's okay, right? Kind of a borderline. But his income is 1,20,000. And what he writes, so based on the EMI every month that he pays for other loans, he will decide, okay, whether this customer is still eligible for another loan. As far as the bank is concerned, if I give the loan to a customer, obviously bank will get a revenue. Still in this case, right, this guy is, but the EMI, if you add all the EMIs, right, comes around 70,000, right? Still, he left with 50,000. Okay, he applied for another loan. So for that, he can, he has to pay only 10K per month for that new loan. So in that case, still he is eligible for the loan. We can approve. Okay, I don't care, how many number of loans he has, whether he has the capability to repay the loan for the amount that he applied for it, yes. Yes, this guy already has 3 loans. His income is good, and 70K. He is paying for the other loans EMI. remaining 50,000 is, that is what is, we left with 50,000. And but, he has to pay EMI for the new loan, 40,000. Do you think he can make the payment for the new loan for which he has to pay 40,000 EMI every month? That's not possible, because if he pay 40,000, remaining 10,000, how he can run his family, right? So still he is eligible for loan, but how much loan we can approve it? So bank, you might have heard about this, right? When you apply for the loan, say we might have applied for 5 lakhs. They say, no, sir, your loan is approved, but not 5 lakh. We, based on your credentials or based on your thing, we can give you only 25,000, not 50,000, something like that, right? So still they can give them loan. End of the day, all they need. But again, the bank is at the safer side. So all, like these kind of complex patterns also, it learns on its own. Okay, so on its own, it has that capability now. Once you train the model, it's ready to, make a prediction. This is what machine learning model is all about. Okay, hope you understood. You train the model, the historical model, learn these patterns, then a new customer Raj applies for the loan. And based on the pattern it learned, it applies the pattern on this new customer's profile. And then it based on the pattern and based on the input data, it takes the call whether he is eligible for the loan or not. But in this case, obviously, he is eligible for the loan. Right. So now the bank will approve the loan. This is how it works, the machine learning model. So in this case, you just train the model with the past loan data so that the model can find patterns and repayment behavior. That's called model training. And apply that trained model on the unseen data, or to predict if Raj is a new customer, right? So in this case, you make the prediction, train the model, make the predictions. So how do you make a prediction? You apply this trained model on Raj's profile and then our application, and at that time it will make the predictions, right? So this is how it works. So whatever you learned so far about the machine learning algorithm, what exactly the machine learning model is, this is called supervised machine learning algorithm. Why it is called supervised machine learning? Because we are training the model with both the input as well as the output. Like in the case of exam, we teach you both the questions as well as the answers. Like how a teacher teach you with both the questions and answer. As a data scientist, we train the model with both the input out and with the corresponding output. Hence the model. Hence we call this a supervised machine learning model. Yes, we take both the input and output feature and then we train the model. Okay. This is called super, because why it is called supervised? Because we are giving both the input and output. So is it necessary that I have to give output or the labeled output feature all the time? Let's say, in my case, my manager gave me the data. In that data, I have only the input features. I don't have the labeled output features. What can I do? That's where you have something else called unsupervised machine learning. In the case of unsupervised machine learning, there are some algorithms are available. In the case of unsupervised machine learning, okay. So it automatically detects the pattern. It has the capability to automatically detect the pattern, unlike your supervised machine learning, okay. And we have something else called semi-supervised reinforcement, which we will discuss it later. Don't worry, because today I thought of starting the in natural language processing. That is what the idea of that's the objective or agenda of today's session. Before that, I just want to give you a quick recap, or give you a brief about what exactly the machine learning is all about. Okay. And the applications of machine learning, everywhere it is there, right? The machine learning, like I said, the typical example is the self-driving car. Self-driving car is one of the classic example, and image detection and all the things. Okay. And the next one is deep learning, that we'll see it as we move further. It is, the deep learning is evolved from the machine learning algorithm. With the deep learning, you can find out very, very complex patterns. For example, image classification. Let's say, I have a bunch of images. I throw it to my model. So my model has to find out, right? So who is human, who is animal, right? So let's say you have taken a family picture, right? Family photo. Along with that, you have some the pets are there, like a cat and the dogs are there. It still draws the bounding box, okay, around the faces, right? Hey, then this is the human, this is something like that, right? So this is all possible with the help of deep learning. With the deep learning, you can do something like image recognition, or even in our mobile phone, right? So if the image recognition feature is available, isn't it? For example, in my mobile phone, right? If I show my face recognition is there, right? Even though I can lock my mobile phone with the lock, right? What I do is, right, I can just use the face recognition feature, and then I can show my face, so that next time when my phone get locked, all I have to just show my face, it automatically unlocks it. Got it? So it's all possible because of the deep learning algorithm, right? You can see that. And how many of you are using Snapchat and all, right? In the Snapchat, the young kids, teenagers, and even young people, right? They use still Snapchat. So you can do filtering, all the things, all of the applications of the AI only, okay? And the next one is the generative AI. Generative AI, as I discussed you in the last session, I just gave you the overview of generative AI. We could see a lot of interesting, applications down the line. But before that, you need to understand one more thing. This, the thing called, natural language processing. Most of the time, we'll be working with the text data, unstructured data. And don't tell me what about the multimodal. So there are models are available as per Gen AI to deal with multimodal. For example, in chat GPT, if I say, can you give me the core image, or can you give me the anatomy of throat? And it gives you still give me the image of that one. It generates the image, right? So that's a multimodal. Multimodal in the sense, if you want to generate the image, if you want to generate audio or video, apart from text, that is possible nowadays. Okay, fine. So before we learn Gen AI, all the things, right, advanced topics, you should be knowing the prerequisite, something like you should be knowing what is natural language processing. Okay, that we are going to look at it now. Just give me a second. Okay. I'll just stop the recording.